Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I'm Jay Carter, and welcome to the Daily English Practice. First of all, make sure to subscribe to the channel so our community of English learners can grow and evolve. I hope you enjoy today's topic. Make the most of it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever dreamed of speaking English fluently? Of watching a movie without subtitles, making friends from the other side of the world, or even landing that dream job that requires good English? If your answer is yes, or even maybe, you're in the right place. Because this podcast is not about grammar rules or boring lessons. No, here we focus on real English, the kind you can hear, feel, and use. Every episode is made to help you understand better, speak with more confidence, and most importantly, to enjoy the process. So what's today's topic? Why is English a global language? And why does that even matter to you? Think about this. How did English go from being just one language among thousands to becoming the bridge that connects people all over the world? In the next few minutes, we'll dive into that story together. But don't just listen passively. I want you to repeat the words, feel the rhythm, and let the language sink in. Are you ready? Let's start this journey together. So, why does it matter that English is a global language? I mean, really, is learning English just about passing a test? Getting a good grade at school? Memorizing vocabulary lists and verb tenses? Or is there something more? Let's be honest. You didn't press play on this podcast just to study. You're here because deep down, you know that English can open doors. Big ones. Imagine this. You're traveling to a country you've never been to. The signs are confusing. People speak a language you don't know, but then you ask in English, and someone answers back. You feel safe, understood, in control. Or maybe you meet someone online, from Japan, from Germany, from Brazil, and guess what? You both speak enough English to talk, laugh, connect. Or picture this. You walk into a job interview, and they ask, "Do you speak English?" You smile and say, "Yes, I do." That one sentence could change your future. You see, learning English isn't about perfection, it's about possibility. And the more you practice, even just listening and repeating simple phrases, the closer you get to that version of yourself who's confident, capable, and ready for the world. So here's a little challenge. As you listen, speak out loud. Yes, talk to yourself. Repeat what you hear. Even whisper it if you're shy. But do it. Because speaking activates your brain. It makes the learning stick. And don't worry, we're just getting started. Next, what exactly is a global language? And how did English take that title? Keep listening. The answer might surprise you. Let's pause for a second. What do we really mean when we say English is a global language? Think about it. A global language isn't just spoken in one country. It's not locked inside textbooks or used only by native speakers. No, a global language is like a bridge. It connects you to them, us to the world. When people from China and France meet for business, what language do they often use? When scientists share research across countries, how do they communicate? When gamers from 5 different continents play together online, what language fills their headsets? You already know the answer. It's English. But here's the most amazing part. English isn't everyone's first language. In fact, most people who speak it learned it just like you're doing now. That means you belong in this conversation. Yes, even if your accent is strong. Even if your vocabulary is small right now. You are part of this global network the moment you begin to understand. So ask yourself, what will you do when you can speak this global language fluently? Because it's not just about the language. It's about where it can take you. Now, are you curious to know how English became this global force? It wasn't magic, and it didn't happen overnight. Let me tell you a story. So, how did English become the global language? It didn't start as the most spoken language. It wasn't always in movies or on airplanes or in your favorite app. But like every great story, it began with expansion. A few hundred years ago, the British Empire grew across the globe to places like India, South Africa, Australia, and the Caribbean. Wherever they went, they brought their language, English. But that was just the beginning. Later came the rise of the United States, not through colonies, but through influence. Movies, music, technology, fast food, fashion. The world didn't just see America, the world started to hear it. Think about it. Where are some of the biggest tech companies from? Google, Apple, Microsoft, all based in English-speaking countries. And what language do their products speak? What about universities? Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, names that echo around the world. They teach in English. What about airports, hotels, international events? When you travel, which language is most likely to be understood, no matter the country? And it's not just the West. In countries like India, Singapore, the Philippines, English is everywhere, on signs, in schools, in offices. Here's a fact for you. English is spoken officially in over 50 countries and studied as a second language in almost every country on earth. Why? Because it's useful. Because it works. Because it became the common ground when no other language could unite so many people, cultures, and industries. Now, here's a question. Can you see yourself using English in your life? Not just studying it, but living it? Because in the next section, we'll dive into the real-world places where English appears every single day, from offices to airports, from classrooms to coding. Let's go deeper. All right, so now we know how English became a global language. But the real question is, where do we see it in action? Where, in your daily life, is English already present, quietly shaping your world? Let's take a tour. First stop, business. Imagine you're applying for a job at an international company. They love your resume, but the interview? It's in English. Suddenly, speaking well becomes a superpower. In meetings, in emails, in Zoom calls with people from 3 different countries, English is often the common language. Even if the company is based in Germany or Japan, having English on your resume, that's no longer a bonus. It's a door opener. Next stop, education. Dreaming of studying at Harvard, Oxford? Even many universities in Europe or Asia now teach in English. Online courses? English. Academic papers? Mostly in English. Knowledge today speaks English, and if you speak it too, you have access to the world's best ideas. Now let's travel. Tourism. Picture this. You're in an airport in Istanbul, or Bangkok, or Rome. You look at the signs, and what's right there next to the local language? That's right, English. At the hotel front desk. On the menu. With the tour guide. Knowing English makes your trips smoother, safer, and way more fun. Next up, technology. Let's be honest, the internet speaks English. In fact, 60% of all websites are in English. The apps you use, the tutorials you watch, the code you write, even the programming languages themselves use English. If you want to work in tech, marketing, design, or even just understand how the digital world works, English is your key. And finally, entertainment. Think about your favorite movie. Was it made in Hollywood? What about that song you keep singing in your head? Or that Netflix show with the catchy dialogue? English is the language of global culture. And when you understand it directly, no subtitles, no waiting for translations, you connect on a whole new level. Now let me ask you, which of these areas speaks to you the most? Where do you want English to take you? Because next, we're going even deeper into how your life can change when you decide to embrace this language. Let's talk about your future. Now, let's talk about you. Not schools, not history, not statistics. You. Because learning English isn't just a skill. It's not just a subject. It's a decision, one that can completely change your future. Let's imagine something together. You're looking for a better job. Maybe you don't want to stay where you are forever. You want more money, more freedom, more respect. And then you see it, the job you've been waiting for. But there's one small requirement. Must speak English. You know what that means, right? This language, these words you're hearing now, could be the thing that stands between your current life and your dream life. Or maybe you dream of studying abroad. You've seen the photos, campuses like Oxford, Stanford, MIT. You picture yourself walking there, learning from the best professors in the world. But those dreams require exams like IELTS, TOEFL. And to pass those, you need more than luck. You need English. Now imagine traveling. You land in a new country. You don't speak the local language, but you speak English, and suddenly, everything opens up. You ask for help. You order food. You make friends. You feel free. And then there's connection. Think of how many people you could meet online, in games, on social media. People with different lives, cultures, stories, but one shared code: English. That connection, it's real, it's powerful, and it lasts. Information and innovation, the newest research, the latest tech, the tools that shape the future, they're all in English. And entertainment? Don't just watch the movie, understand it. Don't just listen to the song, feel it. When you understand English, every story becomes your story. But maybe the most powerful reason is this: confidence. When you speak English, even just a little, when you understand a line from a movie, when you say hello to someone from across the world, something shifts inside you. You realize, I can do this. I'm not afraid anymore. I belong here. And that feeling? That's the beginning of something amazing. But remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Because every word you learn, every sentence you repeat, is one step closer to the future you deserve. Now, you might be wondering, but what if I make mistakes? What if I'm not good enough? Well, let's talk about that next. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like learning English is too hard? Like your mouth doesn't cooperate? Or the words disappear the moment you need them? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. Everyone, yes, everyone, who speaks English today started with the same fears, the same doubts, the same mistakes. But here's the truth no one tells you. Mistakes don't mean failure. They mean progress. Every time you forget a word, every time you mispronounce something, you're one step closer to fluency, not further away. Because learning a language isn't a straight line. It's a journey. Some days you'll feel powerful. Other days you'll feel stuck. But if you keep showing up, even just for 5 minutes a day, something magical happens. Your brain adapts. Your tongue learns the rhythm. Your ears begin to catch words you never noticed before. And suddenly, you're speaking. You're understanding. You're becoming the person you dreamed of being. So here's what I want you to remember, and I mean this from the heart. You are capable. You are smart enough. You are not too old, too busy, or too late. This podcast isn't just about learning English. It's about believing in yourself. It's about taking control of your story, one sentence at a time. And when you feel tired, come back. Play this again. Let these words remind you of what's possible. Because the English you want to speak is already inside you. You just have to unlock it. And trust me, you will. Are you ready to keep going? Let's close this episode together. So here we are. You've just listened to an entire episode in English. You followed the words. You imagined the stories. And most importantly, you showed up for yourself. That's not small. That's powerful. Today, we talked about why English is more than just a language. It's a key, a passport, a bridge that connects you to the world. We saw where English is used, how it became global, and most of all, what it can mean for your future. But remember, this is not a race. It's a journey, and you are walking it with millions of others around the world. People just like you, learning one word at a time. Somewhere out there, someone is starting from zero. Somewhere else, someone is practicing their first sentence. And right here, right now, you're part of that movement. So keep going. Practice. Listen. Repeat. Speak, even if your voice shakes. And whenever you feel lost, remember this. English is not just a language. It's a key to a world full of opportunities. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me and yourself with this first step. I'm Jake, and I'll be right here waiting for you in the next episode. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in your voice.